Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment. Here to recap the 30-9 victory by the Tennessee Titans on Thursday Night Football over the Jacksonville Jaguars, and this will be a short video today, okay, because there's not really much to talk about today, and that's a good thing. I like coming on here and not saying anything. This will be the shortest game recap we will have all season. Hopefully not, though. Hopefully we have some more blowouts coming our way. What a victory by the Tennessee Titans as they continue their inconsistency, and it is headed by Derrick Henry. And I said last week on this very channel, on this very program, Derrick Henry, never ever trust a man with two first names, by the way. Derrick Henry, I felt last week, you know what, I was just getting over him. I was just starting to say, I'm not sure he's really gonna be our Melvin Gordon, our Kareem Hunt when he's not beating people up, a real mainstay running back for this offense, a guy that would help us, you know, become an elite offense in this league, a Todd Gurley and Ezekiel Elliott. I just don't see it. Maybe we need to start looking around for that type of guy. And then he came and he did this. 17 carries, 238 yards, and 4 rushing touchdowns. He was looking like he was back at Alabama tonight. It was ridiculous, people, and we've seen glimpses of this. We saw him in that Kansas City Chiefs wild card game last season. He ran for, I want to say, over 120 yards in that game. He had a touchdown as well, and he had a really nice game in that game. He's had a couple other really nice games. I remember last year, week 2 against the Jaguars, he also played well. Always plays well against the Jaguars, right? You like that. But he's been inconsistent. We've seen him this season have his struggles. He was only averaging 3.7 yards per carry heading into this game, and we gave him a lot of carries in weeks 2 and 3, and he really didn't do much with them. But today he did a fantastic job. It gave me faith and confidence in him again. Now with that said, I don't want to be a complete prisoner of the moment. I'm not completely sold yet. We need to see consistency from this guy. You need consistency from the running back position, okay? You need it, okay? You really do need it. You can't have a running back that's gonna run for 150 yards one game, then the next game will run for 20. That is not a good way to build your team, because you're going to go into each game believing, okay, we're going to try to establish a run, and then 50% of the time, or even more when it comes to Derrick Henry, you're going to fail, and then you have to completely change your game plan. So I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment. I don't want to say, okay, this one game means that, you know, he's great and he's going to be this great running back, because we still need to see consistency from him. But you see, man, if we can give him the offensive line, that perhaps he would get more of that consistency, because the holes were there tonight. And when he's in the open field, man, you see what he can do. That 99-yard rushing touchdown in which he was stiff-arming everybody. Get off me! Get off me! What are you doing? Are you coming back for more? What are you doing? Okay, I mean, Jesus, man, he was dominating these cats. Man, the Jacksonville Jaguars had no chance of stopping Derrick Henry, and he had no problem of telling them that at the end of the game as he was screaming on the sideline, y'all suck, you suck, shut up. Okay, go back to Jacksonville. Cody Kessler, Blake Bortles, Jesus, the Jaguars stink, and Derrick Henry took advantage. My current stance is, again, I'm not sold. I know I'm still not sold. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but I do have faith that if they do go into next season, right? Because I don't think we're going to be able to, like, sign a Le'Veon Bell anyway. Like, I wouldn't do that, right? I think that'd be too much money. But I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to upgrade the center position, upgrade the right guard position, and then give it one more shot, right? Derrick Henry is entering his contract year, the final year of his contract next year. Okay, so fine. I'm willing to give him one more shot. But again, do recognize, man, he's been inconsistent. Don't let this cloud your judgment. We're so happy and we're so shocked because we haven't been seeing this. This is his best game of the season by far. He hasn't had a 100-yard game this season. I don't think he even had an 80-yard game this season before this game. So it's a great game. It's a fantastic game. One of the best rushing performances we've ever seen in Tennessee. Maybe even the best one, although I think Chris Johnson had one or two that were better. But we need to still see that consistency. Until he gives us that, I can't be completely sold on Derrick Henry, but it was a nice sign. And you do see he does run better in December, right? Because the Jacksonville Jaguars and other teams that have a hard time bringing down his huge frame when it gets late into the season. And by the way, we also need to consider this. The Jaguars defense is mailing it in at this point. I mean, they're just mailing it in. They had no interest in really playing hard today. I will give his first 2 touchdowns, that he gets all the credit for that, but especially his last touchdown, I want to say 50 50-yarder, yeah, they weren't really trying, and not very hard at least. So that's not to discredit his performance today. Again, he played great, but again, I need to see it consistently, and there are reasons as to why it was as great as it was. Outside of him, again, not really much to talk about. I mean, he's the story of the game today. Quarterback Marcus Mariota, not really much to talk about. 18 of 24, 162 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, but 1 passing interception. Obviously did not love the interception. Honestly thought he lost grip of the ball. He was rolling out to his left, okay, the opposite side of his throwing arm, and immediately as the ball left his hands, it was wobbly. I thought he lost control of it and he sailed it. If you sail a wobbly ball, you probably just lost the grip of the ball right when you're going to go throw the ball. Boom, it just slipped out of your hands and it went to the defender over Tajay Sharp. Now that indicates to me there might still be some nerve issues, and he was wearing the hand device today. I think it's like, I don't know if it's a glove, I don't know what the hell you call it, but he was wearing like a glove, I guess, like an open glove today, if you want to call it that, you know, some sort of hand device. So maybe there's grip problems that's still taking place there, and that's what I saw in that throw. Plus, by the way, I don't know why these people, like whenever on Monday Night Football, right, everyone likes to say, you know, Marcus Mariota, you got to get him out of the pocket, you got to let him throw out of the pocket. He's not even that good throwing out of the pocket, rolling to his left especially. I don't like him doing that. I want him to sit in the pocket and make throws. That is when he's at his best, and that is when he was at his best tonight. So outside of that, I loved him tonight. Could have had a deep throw to Taywan Taylor, but Taywan Taylor let it bounce off his helmet. So still inconsistency there. So we're still looking out for that. But outside of that, Taywan Taylor was the best receiver today. So I'll give him that. He had 6 receptions, 59 yards. Again, I think he's a number 3 wide receiver, but I think he's still developing. I think he's still getting better. I like the improvement. If we can move forward with him, Corey Davis, and another guy, I'll be very pleased with that. And Anthony Ferguson, man, I like this guy. Okay, I'm sorry. The reason I was so hesitant of this guy is because I saw him on the roster. I'm like, who is this guy? But this guy can play. He continues to catch everything thrown his way, and I respect that. I don't respect Jonnu Smith, okay, who catches maybe, he's right now catching about 55%, maybe 60% of the stuff that's thrown his way, but the stuff that he misses, he's either going to just completely drop, or he's going to run the wrong route and cause an interception and all kinds of BS that we have to deal with. Anthony Ferguson playing really well. I like Ferguson right now moving forward. I can't wait to see Delaney Walker and Anthony Ferguson next year. Dion Lewis did nothing in the rushing game, so that's still a problem. In the receiving game, he did his thing. Corey Davis, quiet game for him. He was on pace for 1,000 yards. Now he's not. If he still wants to pass that threshold, he's going to really have to step up over the last 3 games of the season. Defensively, Jarrell Casey probably had his best game of the season, 1.5 sacks for him. Logan Ryan played well. Wesley Woodyard did his thing. Adoree Jackson came back and bounced back really well. And Rashaan Evans, how about that key 4th and goal stop on Leonard Fournette? That is what we drafted him for. He needs to continue to give us that in terms of run defense. That is why we drafted Rashaan Evans. Loved seeing that today. And Malcolm Butler, he did let up a huge catch, I want to say, to Keelan Cole, but outside of that, I liked what he did as well. Okay, so there's some improving things here. Things are starting to come together a little bit. Harold Landry flashed for a bit as well, so the defense is looking better. I like that, especially in the second half last week and now for the entire game tonight. But again, it was Cody Kessler, it was the Jacksonville Jaguars, so let's relax. That's it, people. I mean, that's it. Again, I told you 2 weeks ago, okay, it was so easy for everyone to say after that Houston Texas loss, the season's over, we're done. And I said, hold on, the season is still here. Okay, finally I'm starting to understand this team again. It took me a while, but now that it's 3 straight games I have picked correctly for the Tennessee Titans, and next week is the big one. I do believe this is maybe not as big as Indianapolis week 17 potentially, but it is big. If we're going to lose, I don't think we're going to lose to the Redskins, but if we're going to lose to any team other than the Colts, it's going to be the Giants. We need to be careful when we go up there to New York. It's probably going to be cold, and we're going to be off 10 days rest. Hopefully we're not rusty. Hopefully we don't lose momentum, because right now we do have some momentum, and hopefully the Giants don't find it, because I think they may win this week in Washington. That'll be 2 straight wins for them, and they're going to be feeling good. So we need to be really on our toes next week in New York facing the Giants. Giants, Redskins, Colts, if you win, you win, you win, you're in, and there is some wiggle room for you to have 1 loss, but I'm not betting on that. Let's not plan on that, because that's what we tried in 2016, and that's what screwed us over. Let us win, 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 playoff team again. And look, I was seeing some people in the comment section last week saying, why do you want the Titans to win games? Don't you want a better draft pick? What's the point of making the playoffs to be a 1 game out of the playoffs? First of all, That's what y'all told me last year, okay? When we were going to go to Kansas City, I told you we were going to win that game. I think if we go to Houston, and it probably would be Houston, I think we got a shot. I know we just lost 34-17. I think we got a shot, especially because, again, we're starting to get going. We're starting to see some momentum building. Who knows what kind of team we're going to be a month from now? Let's go play. And second of all, you want to be a playoff team in this league, a perennial playoff team. You want to be what the Atlanta Falcons were when they were consistently making the playoffs. You want to be what the Chiefs have been recently, consistently making the playoffs, because then your players expect that. That becomes the standard. We make the playoffs. That's what we do. You don't want to be the Jaguars that get in for a year, they fail, and then they're out again because they did not build that consistency, that standard of we make the playoffs. That's what we do. That's our move. Furthermore, look, if you can't draft well at pick number 24, you're not going to draft much better at pick number 14. Okay, like John Robinson needs to pick better regardless, especially in rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, because that's when your team is really made. And pick 24 in round 2 is not that much worse than pick 14 in round 2. It's not that much worse. I don't care about draft positioning at this point. If we were battling for number 1 overall, okay, now we're having a conversation. I mean, I don't want to hear about what we need to tank for the 13th overall pick. Shut up. I want to make the playoffs. I want to build the standard of going to the playoffs. And then who knows, right? If we win 4 straight games heading into the playoffs, we're facing a familiar foe in the Houston Texans. And then let's say we win that, we go back to Kansas City potentially, or New England. We can beat anyone in the AFC. That's what we've proven this season. We beat Kansas City and Kansas City the last playoffs. Let's play. Let's find out. I'm not saying we're going to do nothing. I'm saying let's give it a shot. And the Titans are giving it a shot right now. So with that said, that's my recap of the Titans versus the Jaguars. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, it's been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.